Oh yeah, party people. Jason Gully here, representing Tacos and Turntables podcast with my man Vicious V. Thanks for tuning in to the podcast. We got a lot of cool old school artists coming in with different topics. You know, taking you back in the day with behind the scenes of some of the freestyle movement, as well as hip hop and old school. We also offer merch on the Tacos and Turntables site, just like this shirt right here, keeping it old school. That's what we are. So that's what we're representing.
Hey guys, we have a very special guest in the house. NYASIA is with us today. So happy to have you with us, NYASIA, and would love to hear how you got started in music and all that good stuff. How did you get started in music, NYASIA?
Well, first of all, hi everybody. I'm glad to be here in San Jose. To answer your question, I started in music by accident. I did a favor for a friend of mine who had a group at the time. The group was called All In, and the two singers were Willie Valentine from Artistic Records and Michael Berteau. So I danced for them for about 6 months before I was approached by someone asking me, if I ever did any professional singing. And I said, no, I sang in church and I sang in the shower, and that was about it. So they said, do you have a song that you can show us so that you can audition? And Michael and Willie Valentine were like, yep, she'll have a song. And they went and wrote my first song, Now and Forever.
Very
And it just
cool.
took off from there. I wasn't someone who grew up dreaming of being a singer. Um, I was like on the other extreme. I wanted to be a police officer. I wanted to join the army. I wanted to do all the men stuff, you know. Um, I grew up a tomboy, have always been, and for me, the singing thing, I was like, oh, okay, I sing in the chorus at church and school, so it'll be okay. Never thought it was going to take off the way it did. I thank God it did, but I just never, at that time, I didn't believe it was going to go as far as it has.
Right. No, that's completely understandable. And sometimes those things happen that way, which is awesome, right? I'm sure you're happy about it. Tell me about Who's Got Your Love? That seems to be the song that really it was in the,
Mm-hmm.
top 100, I think, on Billboard for a long time. Crossed over right
Mm-hmm.
into more
Yes.
mainstream, which is awesome. Tell me about that song, singing it, being in the studio, the whole experience, and why do you think that song kind of withstood the test of time, so to speak? It's been what, maybe 30, 32 years, something like that?
Yeah, it's been about 31 years. Because that was the follow-up song after Now and Forever. Now and Forever made it big, like in Brazil, Florida, Texas, Chicago. It when Who's Got Your Love came out, um, it had a different feel to it. I remember reading in one of the magazines, in one of the dance music magazines, stated that it was more of a mature sound compared to Now and Forever. But I think there were a lot of elements to that song as to why it stood the test of time. It had the beat had a lot to do with it. The drums, the producers at the time, Nelson Cruz, may he rest in peace, sampled drums, and there's like 6 different versions of that song, I believe, to Who's Got Your Love. Uh, and I think that at the time, I could be wrong, but I think that at the time when they were recording the two songs, Now and Forever and Who's Got Your Love, I think it was something like, okay, we have a new artist. Come on, let's get the song out. Let's spit out as much as we can. Let's spit them out. Let's spit them out, because they were just, it was Cynthia, Johnny O, um, Eileen Flores, it was Ann Moore, all these people on Micmac, and all these artists that were so great, and they were just spitting out songs. I didn't think that they took into consideration that the songs are actually going to do very well. And I remember one time Mickey Garcia calling me. No, I went to the office, and he said, "Oh yeah, Who's Got Your Love crossed over in San Jose." And I was like, what does that mean? Because I have no idea. I had no idea. I don't have any music background. I don't have entertainment background, although I have a lot of family members that are musicians and are singers, but not to the level where I have taken it. So I was like, what does that mean, crossover? And they were like, well, got on Billboard 94. And I was like, oh, fantastic, great. I said thanks, and yeah, I just kept going. And I think that the reason a lot of people can relate to those songs, the words. I've seen that look before, and I can't ignore. It's just, something's missing between us now, and a lot of people can relate to that relationship wise.
That's one
Which
of
is
the
what
great things
freestyle
about
is all
freestyle.
about, right?
Right, right. That's one of the great things about freestyle records. There are a lot of like heartbreak. There's a lot of like real emotion. It's
Right.
real stuff, right? That you're singing about. A lot of things
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, we can all relate to. And I think that that makes a lot of sense. I've been meaning to ask you that for a long time, so I'm glad you told us about that.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I you guys are in San Jose now. We're getting ready for a show. I bought your single in San Jose at a place called Upstairs Records. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but I'm sure it's nearby where you guys are at. It's no longer there, but
Mm-hmm.
that's where I kind of started. That's where I would go record shop, and that's where I bought your single. Um, so it's bringing back memories, a lot of good memories, of that record store. You literally had to walk up these stairs and go to the right, and that's where the record store was. But no, that's awesome. I could totally see that, and that's awesome that it crossed over. You know, obviously you had a lot more records. Um, I'm the one, Midnight Passion, Do Not Waste My Time, Take Me Away, Two-Time Lover, I Feel the Way You Do, and I think I'm missing one. I don't know if you can help me out if I'm missing one, but
Yes.
which is do you have a favorite out of all your records that kind of maybe speaks to you more or something that you really like? Is there a record? I mean, obviously you have a lot, but
I do. I have from that album, 7 singles came out of that album. So the two that you were missing was Stronger Together with David Torres and Can I Count on Your Love, which was written by Laura and Nia. Those the rest of the titles became singles. So from that album, Now and Forever was my favorite because it was a personal song for me because of the writers. They were my friends. They did this for me. Them being in a group themselves helped me get to where I am. So that from that album, that's my song from there. And then from the second album, I would have to say one of my favorite songs from that album would be Rectify, which was written by A.B. Cruz from the original TKAs and his wife, Aina.
awesome.
And yeah, and then this new project coming on, I have a couple of favorites. So, it's as I record the songs, they bring new life into the genre of freestyle for me. Because now we've been performing 30 plus years in this genre, and usually they want you to perform the same songs. It's very hard for you to incorporate new music when a lot of the shows want you to do, just do the, Who's Got Your Love Now Forever, I'm the One. But tonight I plan to incorporate a new one and an old one. So I'm really excited about tonight's show.
No, that's awesome. Let's talk a little bit about that. So you're doing a bunch of shows. I know you're doing a bunch of freestyle shows. You have a show tonight in Gilroy, and also the new song "Time." Your husband mentioned that it's very dear to your heart, and if you could tell me a little bit about that song. One thing I want to go back to, though, that you mentioned also was how important it is to have a good kind of team, you mentioned that which is really cool of you, that you're giving people props as far as some of the writing. Of course, you're delivering on the vocals, and I'm sure you did some writing yourself, but it takes kind of a team, effort to bring those songs to life. And it's not easy. It takes a lot of talent,
Yeah.
a lot of hard work. So that's awesome that you were definitely giving them props. I mean, I did a little recording myself, and I know it takes a team effort. So that's awesome that
It definitely does. It takes a village, like they say,
yeah,
and when you have a lot of talent and together in one room, you're going to come up with something special. And that was what happened with the new song Time. I went to visit, we were hanging out with some friends of ours, Jenny Renee, who is a new school artist. And we went to hang out over there, and her husband said, oh, Jay Allums is here. And Jay Allums, he produced a lot of the music for George Anthony. And other artists. And I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. And Manny said, you should do a song together. And I was like, today? Like, we just came to hang out. But sure enough, we went upstairs. He put a beat together. Jenny Renee and I and Manny and Jay Allums wrote the lyrics to Time. And it was so spontaneous that I couldn't believe it was actually happening. And then it was received so well in the music industry, and it really it touched my heart, because I was at a point where I was like, oh, I'm just tired of the drama and all the stuff you see online. I think social media is a double-edged sword. It helped so much in bringing light to the artists that people think were no longer performing. Like I heard you when you were speaking to my husband earlier, you said you're doing the show so that you can revive the artist, or I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
And some of us never left the industry. We were still performing and still recording. It's just we didn't have social media as vast as it is now, so it was hard to see that, oh, NYASIA she did a show over here. Oh, NYASIA's still recording this song, because there's no way of pushing it the way we push it now. Some people did leave for quite a number of years and have come back, but yeah, some of us were still there, still, writing it and waiting for the moment to come back up. And I appreciate it with Time. I loved it because of the fact that I wrote it with friends, talented producer Jay Allums, Jenny Renee, talented writer and artist. And it was my first, not a first song that I've written, but a first song that I co-wrote and felt very close to. The whole meaning of the song Time. People always say, oh, I haven't seen this person in so long, I'll try to reach them next week. What if you don't have next week? And then you're in a relationship, and you love the person so much, but there's just so many things that can go wrong in a relationship, and love just can't hold, is not the glue all the time. Yeah. So, it's just a song that also relates to a lot of people that, they can relate to when they listen to it. It's a sad song, but it has its good, I think it has a little bit of everything.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's really cool what you mentioned also as far as Time, and part of the reason for doing the show is to kind of immortalize these conversations and the artists also. You mentioned, a lot of people say, we have today and tomorrow is not promised. You mentioned that time. Sometimes you have to you have to live like there's no tomorrow in a way, because you have to kind of appreciate what you're doing right now and
Right.
today. And I
Mm-hmm.
think you also mentioned social media, and I think, like you said, it's a double-edged sword, because some people take it too far, and
Mm-hmm.
it can get abused, and it can actually create a lot of problems. But it can
Right.
also bring about a lot of, positive things. So like
Oh,
anything else, it's
definitely.
kind of how you use it. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's actually
Exactly.
really cool for, what we're doing now. I mean, technology-wise, right? Like the technology is awesome. It brings us together. We can talk about things that we love, the music, the freestyle,
Yes.
the writing, all these,
The
but
positivity part of it.
exactly. And that's honestly, that's why we started the podcast. A lot of negativity out there, a lot of negative things, a lot of things that try to divide us. And
Mm-hmm.
as funny as it sounds, I think tacos and turntables kind of brings us together. So
It
that's
really
part of the reason,
does.
you know. So also, I know you have some new projects. I don't know how much you can delve into that, but I'm sure you got some new projects coming out soon, and I don't know how much you can tell me about those, but uh,
Mm-hmm.
we'd all love to hear them. Obviously, I'm sure they're in the making. So,
Yes.
what can you tell me about those?
I am collaborating with a few artists. Again with new school artist Jenny Renee. I'm doing a couple of things. Either backgrounds, or she's doing background on mine. It's a give and take type of thing. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I will support anyone in this music industry who is in it, in all honesty, because they love music. Um, I don't condone the drama. I try to stay away from it as much as I can, even if it means just staying off of social media, which is not fair to your fans when they try to, to see what you're doing, what's new and upcoming. My husband usually takes care of my medias for me. Um, but I am also collaborating with one of my best friends in the music industry, Sapphire. Um, Doing a couple of things with her and her awesome husband Kenny, for their Londinium League of Heroes project. So I'm super excited about that. I love recording. I love recording new music just to see how it sounds. I have a few other things in motion, you know. Working with Santana Twins, that's the new song that's coming out next in September. It's called Walk Away, and that has a lot of meaning. That song in itself is an explosion of my feelings. Um, it could be, in a relationship wise, or it could be industry wise. Anyone can take it how they want to take it, but it's a strong song, and I'm very excited for it to come out.
That's awesome. That again, a lot of freestyle fans, or only freestyle fans and old school fans, are going to watch this. So I'm sure they're going to be looking forward to all that good stuff that you have coming soon. And you
Mhm.
mentioned Sapphire, of course. I mean, uh, I can't say enough
Yes.
good things about Sapphire.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
I don't know her personally, obviously, but just her music alone, everybody loves it.
Speaks
I
for
love it.
itself.
I have her singles also, and yeah, I'm sure she's got some crazy good stuff coming soon. NYASIA,
Yes.
let me ask you this. So it's been about what? Yeah, I think you mentioned 31 years since you kind of got started, maybe 32.
Hmm.
What are some maybe some lessons that somebody watching, let's say they want to get into music or freestyle, or just any kind of music, that you could give them, any tips or advice? I know it's kind of a hard business, but at the same time, it's very fulfilling, right? Because you can speak to your fans, you get to perform. It's a fun thing to do. You
It,
also
it
get to
really
express
is.
yourself, you
It's
know.
a great thing. I've had so many. I can't even tell you how many times I have heard a parent tell me that they named their daughter NYASIA, um, because they love Now Forever, or because they just love the name, or they love me as an artist. and it's very humbling, especially for someone like myself who didn't come into this industry as someone who wanted to be there. It fell in my lap, and I ran with it. I thank God for the blessings for it. But what I would tell someone coming into the music industry or any type of entertainment industry, it's hard. It's very hard. You sometimes you just don't know who you can trust. So just educate yourself. That's the only thing I can tell you. Educate yourself, do the research. I did none of that when I first started, and I got burned pretty bad. But I would always tell someone, educate yourself on the music industry. Who are the people? Who are the go-getters? Who are the ones? Look, observe, see what people are doing and who they're doing it with, and what the outcome is before you throw yourself in 100%.
That sounds like very, very good advice, NYASIA. Thank you so much. And also, something you alluded to earlier, you alluded to earlier was kind of surrounding yourself with a good team, because you enjoy the process also, right? Working with them, and how you mentioned when you're working on some of those songs that meant a lot to you, having a good team around you is very, very, very important, like you said. So you have to kind of
Yes.
I guess, learn who to trust and whatnot, because it is, people think it's all fun and games, and it's definitely not all fun and games.
Yes, it
So,
really isn't.
I mean, it can, part of it is, I'm not going to lie, just
Oh, definitely.
being a DJ, even on the, kind of similar side, but still a little bit different, obviously, than being an artist. There's fun involved, but there's a lot of things you need to learn, and you have to kind of, like you said, you have to kind of watch who you trust and who you
Right.
surround yourself with, and who's worth working with and who's not. And,
Right.
it's not all fun and games. So I'm glad you
Right.
shed light on that, because like I said, people are sometimes a little bit naive and they think it's all, and it's not, you have to kind of tread carefully, and have fun, but at the same time tread carefully, because there's a lot of.
Right. And it's very political. You turn into a politician without wanting to, because you don't want to get involved in a lot of stuff, but you don't want to also turn your back on a lot of people, because you just never know if they need the help.
Right.
Or maybe later on, somewhere down the road, you might need their help. You just try to keep it neutral, but know who your circle is, for sure. Definitely, for sure. Quality over quantity anytime.
That is really, really good advice. And I've been on the, it's not always been positive for me either, but a lot of good experiences, so that was really, really good advice, NYASIA. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for giving us your time for this interview. One thing I want to ask you too, okay, so it's called Tacos and Turntables, what are the best tacos you ever had, or your favorite taco spot? Because what we'll do is, if it's a taco spot, on the link, below, we'll actually shout them out and then link to them, and people can say, okay, NYASIA likes these tacos, I'm gonna go there. So
So I've been to Texas a lot, and I think I've been to Cali 4 times, I believe. And I don't know that I have a taco spot. I know I was in Dallas a few months ago, and we had street tacos, but it was from a little cart vendor.
yeah, those are
And
the
they were,
best, by the way.
yeah, they were so delicious. They were so greasy, and everything was mixed in there so well. But I would say my favorite taco spot would be my kitchen, when I
Okay.
make my tacos my way.
Awesome. That's very, very good. That's
Yeah.
very, very good and very creative. I like that, because you know exactly what's going in them. If you want to make them kind of greasy, you can, or you can make them
Yes,
healthy, right? You can do whatever you want. So
exactly.
that's really, really cool. NYASIA, it's been such a pleasure talking to you. I'm so delighted we got a chance to talk and talk about your older music, your new music, your new projects. Can you give everybody your socials? I'm also going to post them down below. So
Uh-huh.
if you can give them your socials in case people want to get a hold of you, get in contact with you, say hi, talk, reach out to you, see what you have going on, and you can let them know about your projects, or if people want to book you for shows and all that good stuff.
Definitely. So I have my website, NYASIA.net, where you can go on there and buy merchandise, which we will have tonight at the show as well. TikTok is at NYASIA Freestyle. Facebook is NYASIA Freestyle. Instagram, the same, NYASIA Freestyle. And that's about it, right? Yes, my music coming up and my past music is available everywhere, every downloadable, digital downloadable place. I do want to say also, talk about having your crew and the people that you work with. I am redoing Now and Forever, or I have re-recorded Now and Forever with the originals, Willie Valentine from Artistic and Michael Bertot. So I am so looking forward for that to be finished so that you guys can hear it in the original way it was supposed to be recorded.
That's awesome. That's so cool. So thank you very much,
Definitely.
NYASIA. And we'll hopefully be talking again when you have some new projects and we can talk about those. So
Well, I have a few hours between now and the show tonight, so I think we're gonna venture outside and see if we find any taco places.
oh, awesome. Yeah.
Then I can let you know what a good spot is.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. We can post it. I don't know about turntables, but you could definitely find some tacos. I mean, and
Also, most importantly from you guys, this is what we need. We need you guys to do this. We need you guys to hit subscribe and hit the bell. So hit subscribe helps us grow the channel. You hit the bell, this sends you an email when we put up a new podcast. So it gives you a heads up, so that way you can go in there and check it out and get the information that we're giving behind the scenes, like with artists that we're interviewing. So yeah, Tacos and Turntables. It's me, Jason Gully, and Vicious V.